Hi everybody! For today's lesson we're going to be making banana bread, which is one of my favorite things to have for breakfast in the morning. It's a great way to get your kid involved in the kitchen. We will be talking things that involve math, fine and gross motor skills, and it's just a great practical life work. Let's get to it. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our apron on. So I have mine right here. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to tie it around my waist. And then after we get our aprons on, the next thing we're going to do is wash our hands. So I'm going to come over to the sink. So like I said, we're going to sing my favorite hand washing song. I had a little turtle, his name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water, he ate up all the soap, and then my little turtle had bubbles in his throat. Bubbles, 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 pop. Okay, now let's dry off our hands. And we're going to come over to all of our workstation where I have everything laid out. I have our dry things and I have our wet things. So my hands were just wet from the water, but now they are dry. The first thing that we're going to do is come and peel our bananas. I have 3 bananas. You can use 3 or 4. Today I only have 3. And a little secret is the more ripe they are, the better. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is we see all of my bananas. I'm going to walk them over to my compost bin. Now I'm going to take my fork. Can you grab your fork? And I want you to smush those bananas up. Mine are so ripe that they're going really smooth. Now I have some nice smashed bananas. Okay, so now that we've smashed up our bananas, this is another great part for your kid to get involved with. And that's going to be, I have some room temperature butter. And if you have a kid that is working with their fine motor skills and you have a child-safe knife, this is a great way for them to practice. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to cut it into chunks. And there is all of our butter. Okay, so now the first thing that we do after we have our cut up softened butter and our mashed up bananas is we're going to add in all of the wet ingredients first. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eggs. If you have an older child, this is a great opportunity for them to try and break some eggs open. It takes 2 large eggs into my bowl. And then once again, I'm going to walk these over to my compost bin. Put them in there. And because I just touched raw eggs, I'm going to wash my hands again with soap. Dry them. Okay, what other wet ingredients do we have? The butter is considered a wet ingredient. So I'm going to go ahead and put the butter in there. Awesome. And from there, I'm going to add in my 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Mom and Dad, as you can see, I have gone ahead and measured out most of my materials. If you have a younger child, we usually do this in class for them so that they are able to just dump into the big bowl. But if you have an older child, this is a great way to talk about measuring and pouring safely so that you're not making a mess. But it's okay if we make messes because it's a great opportunity to just clean up. So there's my 1/2 cup of buttermilk. And then I'm going to add in my 3 mashed bananas. I want all of that banana goodness that I can. Awesome. And now I have a teaspoon of vanilla that I'm going to pour in. That smells good. Awesome. Now we have all of our wet ingredients together. If you want, you can either do a hand mix in your bowl, or you can do what I'm actually going to do and use my mixer. Now we're going to dump in our dry ingredients. I have a 1.5 cups of sugar, which looks like a lot, and let me tell you, this is a pretty sweet bread. If you want, because you're cooking with kids, you can definitely cut back a little. Pour that in. Good job, guys. Then I have 2.5 cups of flour. Remember, let your kids be doing all this pouring. They love to pour. And if they want to be mixing in between these steps, that's great. Let them go ahead and get that movement in. Then I have some baking soda and some salt. I'm going to pour those in as well. Awesome. Like I said, you can be either using a mixing spoon or your attachment. So start mixing. Okay, now that we have everything mixed and we have this nice batter, we're going to go ahead and pour it into whatever we're going to be baking with. Today I'm going to be using muffins because I like a nice, quick, and easy thing for the morning. This recipe makes 24 muffins or 2 regular loaves. Now that I have all of my muffins poured, I'm going to put them in the oven. Mom and Dad, this is definitely a thing for you to do by yourself. I have my oven preheated to 350. I'm going to slide that in. Close. Awesome. This is a great opportunity for you to stop, have your child help you clean up, take it to some sudsy water in your sink, and then while you're baking, while the muffins are baking, you're going to be productive in helping your child learn more about practical life. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes since I put them in, and at about 15 minutes I could start smelling them. And so you kind of just want to wait until you see some nice golden brown. And you can take them out of the oven. And I'm going to pop these onto a cooling rack, and then I'll start my next batch. Okay, so for this next batch, I am making them with nuts because Matt likes nuts on his. So, and I also said earlier that this whole recipe makes 24, when really it didn't quite this time. Okay everyone, I think that our last bit of muffins are done. Once again, these took about 20 minutes to bake. Look at those. There's the ones with the nuts for Matt. Alright, so let's count how many muffins we have really fast, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 muffins. I'm going to turn off my oven. And now, since my kitchen is all clean, I'm going to take off my apron because this work is all done. I'm going to go and put my apron back in its spot. I hope y'all enjoy these muffins. Mom and Dad, there are some great ways that you can extend this work if you want. You can have your kids help you do a washing of the table work. You can have them help you sweep up the floor. The options are limitless. I hope that you enjoyed this time together baking in the kitchen. Enjoy.